I've gotten to the point where when I hear somebody talking about someone else's privilege, especially if that individual comes from a place like America, it goes in one ear and out the other. I just simply can't hear it anymore. When somebody is complaining about others having greater privileges than themselves and they live in a country like this, now this is coming from a child who was born in a genuine third world country. And I actually loved my upbringing. I had plenty of fun. I enjoyed myself. There was so much light within my young experience. But there's a reason why we moved here. There's a reason why we're now in the United States. There's a reason why we did everything we could and everybody else in our family did everything they could to get their paperwork straight, to make sure that they could hopefully get a visa, at the very best get a green card like we were able to get to this side of the map. And when I hear people talking about all these privileges that are awarded to everybody else besides themselves, whether it's white privilege or pretty privilege, whatever other privileges that are somehow stopping the individual from achieving and attaining the things that they want in life, I just can't hear it anymore. And this may come off as non-sympathetic. This may come off as somebody who doesn't have compassion, but I'm telling you this from a place of love. We need to get back to a place where we can recognize the blessings that are in front of us, because if we don't, we're going to be miserable and we will continue to be miserable. I remember this quote. It said, men in hard times, or hard times make strong men, and strong men make good times, and good times make weak men. I'm gonna put that quote up when I say that exact phrase. And that could be countered for men or women, right? Either or, I believe. That a society, when it is enduring hard times, will become stronger and more resilient. Then they will create better times. And those better times are oftentimes going to lead to a weaker population. And I believe we've gotten to the point of the cycle where we have created a genuinely weaker population. And I'm not just talking about mentally and emotionally. They're saying physically we have become weaker. And we can blame it on the food sources, etc., right? It's always the blame game. But we live in a day and age where you have the privilege not to starve. I just want to put our focus there, right? You have the privilege to not starve in this society. There are places all around us that are willing to give food for free. There are shelters. There are locations where you can go and get something. That doesn't exist everywhere in the world. Even today, it doesn't exist. If you go back home where I'm from, Zimbabwe, if somebody is starving, genuinely starving, they're just starving. That's all there is to it. They may have to go hunt for themselves. They may have to go and fend in some sort of way. They may have to, resort to other means, but there aren't the same resources just given away everywhere. The reason I'm so passionate about this right now is because genuinely, I see it ruining us. I see it being the cause of why we are not even getting the things that we desire on top of what we already have. We can't even see what we have right now. We can't even appreciate the fact that I don't have to go hunt for the food that's in the grocery store. I don't have to go and raise the chickens up. I don't have to go and mill the fields, or I don't have to go cultivate the fields every single day in order for me to eat. Now, maybe you choose to do so. And the fact that you have a choice to do so, again, is point in case. You literally have a choice. You can opt into this system, opt into that one. We talk about how terrible capitalism is, how terrible of a system it has been, and how it's served nobody yet. I don't see anybody going back to bartering system. I don't see anybody going, let me give you a chicken for, a couple chickens for a goat. Let me give you, some wheat for a pair of tennis shoes or something like that. I haven't seen it yet. And even those tennis shoes are still going to be bought from somebody, because you probably bought materials from people who are selling and buying and trading within a quote unquote capitalistic system, and you are operating within that. And we say, well, we have no choice. No, we always have a choice. The thing is, we're choosing the more convenient choice, which again comes back to this thing of we have a privilege to do that. I am privileged as a young black man in America. They told me that I was, I was under this oppressive system. In truth, I am privileged. And in more cases than not, especially living in a place like California most of my life, I have been one of the most privileged. People have treated me in a way where I get preferential treatment. That's the facts. Nobody wants to talk about this, but I will, because I'm tired. I'm done. I am. I really am. I'm not tired of the message. I'm tired of the lie. I'm tired of the deception. I'm tired of the fact that we're moving through life still pretending as if this is not the reality. I'm tired of holding my tongue and not saying it as it is. I'm tired of being political. I'm tired of being, a political representation, which most of us are living as, is being the Kamalas of the world. We're moving that way, saying whatever we need to say in order to make people like us, as opposed to telling the truth. I'm tired of living that way. I'm tired of being afraid of you, who's going to come to me and, oh, I'm a vet. No, you're wrong here. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm tired of being afraid of that. I don't care anymore. You can come over here with all your, your comments, your slander, your slights. You can say all things about me you want. You can call me every name that you want in the book, but I'm going to continue to speak the truth until my very last breath, and even after, because I'm going to have content coming out after. Best believe that. Even more after that. It's going to be like the Prince files. You understand me? It's going to be 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 in the vault, ready for your head top, period. But I'm done not saying it the way it is. And the way it is that we are all privileged. We are all privileged. You are living in the 21st century. You have a device that you are watching or listening to this on that could quite literally change your life. And this is something I tell myself every day now, is you have no excuse not to become a multimillionaire and not to change your life and the lives of those around you. You have no excuse. You have a device in front of you right now which literally gives you access to the world. At a click of a button, you click record and you're able to speak to the entire world. You click record and you're able to use your gift to disseminate to everybody on this planet. The potential to do so. Oh, but the algorithm. Stop blaming. Stop blaming. And you might actually get the things that you want out of life. Stop giving over your power. That's what you do when you blame. You blame the system. You blame the man. You blame the woman. You blame no man. You blame somewhere in between, man. Like, everybody is to blame besides ourselves. And so we find ourselves in this place where we are now, where we are getting increasingly more miserable, more frustrated. Studies have come out. You see the pills that are being diagnosed nowadays, right? All the syndromes and symptoms that everybody is walking around with. We are miserable, yet life has never been easier for us. Things have never been better as a society. We have never been in such quote unquote peaceful times. Yes, we're all living in our first run around, right? Like, this is our first time on this planet doing what we're doing. So we don't have the context of history to say, there were times when there was no peace. There was times when what you are now experiencing did not exist. The option was not there. Well, guess what? Right now, it's there. You are living proof that right now it is there. And you have a choice. You have a choice. And the power of decision is the only power that exists to choose what you're going to think and what you're going to do, which emotions you're going to act upon, to choose whether you're going to engage in activities that are going to build your life or tear it apart. You have the decision to do so. So I'm done with this privilege. You have decision privilege. That's the greatest privilege that's ever existed. You are privileged. I am privileged. Now let's get over that and let's goddamn do something positive with ourselves. Let's build something. Let's be constructive. For once in our life, let's actually stop complaining, stop seeing what's not there, and appreciate our lives. People love to use places like where I come from as an example of, well, people can have nothing and be happy. The reason those people are happy, who are happy truly, because you don't know them folks. You've never been there. You just see pictures of people with smiles on, right? But the ones who are in remote places in the world and are genuinely happy, it's because they're seeing what's there. They are appreciating their lives for where they are. That's the secret. It's not because, capitalism hasn't stolen their joy. No, what's stolen your joy is the fact that you can't appreciate the thing even after you've gotten it. You pray for the thing for 15 years, now you're living it, and now you're complaining about it. I'm not sorry about this message. I'm not. I'm really not. I love you enough to tell you the truth. They're going to tell you a lie out there. They're going to sell you the lie all day long. And I'm not just talking about the lie of, the obvious one, mass media, but even the people who are telling you the quote unquote truth about the evils and the woes of the world and the systems, and those people don't love you either. They don't. If they do, they would empower you by saying, here, take the key and do something for self. You have the ability. You're watching this right now. Listen to this right now. You want to make an excuse? Oh, well, these people can't. Then you become a solution for those people. But you don't become that by continuously complaining and keep yourself small. You have to live your fullest version, your fullest expression. You can only do that when you cut the crap, when you cut the lies. You are privileged and so am I.
I used to be afraid of the dark, a place unknown like a heart in their heart. I used to see my life in the bar. Now the kids unchained, every shackle is lost. 2 steps in the moonlight, 2 step in the daytime. You just know when it feel right. You got a feeling the time's not. See you through those shades that I just threw on. Through my lenses, you just can't do no wrong. I fell in love with myself again. I fell in love with myself. I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see